We're here to talk about custom support. What are we talking about? Well, kind of twofold. First part of this is actual, genuine, legitimate support of your production GIS. What this is really bug fixes and question answering for any functionality within your GIS that is not core product. So of course, those of us that are in the utility GIS business are using software from the likes of Esri, Schneider Electric, TC Technology, a variety of providers, GeoJob. Most of those companies have their own core product support that comes with your maintenance payments that you're going to pay every year. But almost all of us at this point have customization and or integration. It's a necessary evil. It's not always fun to have that and pay to support it, but it is necessary. And sometimes the functionality that is custom within your GIS is just as critical to your users as the core product functionality. So what are our options here for actually supporting this and ensuring that if there's a problem needs to be fixed, or if there's a question about the technology behind it, that question can be answered? Well, that's something that we offer. So support is the number one piece of this. Second piece that's a little bit different, but kind of falls under these types of agreements a lot for SSP anyway, is actually enhancements. And so this is essentially creating new customization as needed. We tend to avoid doing big customization projects within the context of a support agreement. However, it's really as needed. So, a lot of our clients will use us primarily for bug fixes, as I said, question answering, but also they like to have that vehicle, that mechanism in place to also use from time to time when the business really needs something else to say, SSP, can you go ahead and create that for us? So from us, we're very flexible with this. We can do this, both of these things under the same contract. So that's kind of what we're here to talk about. Next thing I want to talk about is, why do clients do it? Why do they like it? Why is this something that's important? Well, a few things to ask yourself here. First off, it's going to be staff. And we'll put a big fat question mark there, because this is a question you have to figure out. How much customization and integration do you have? Who supports it internally? Are they qualified? Do they have the time to do that? What if something critical happens where, say, you're in a storm, your OMS goes down, or some critical piece of that may be custom goes down in the middle of a storm situation, and you do not have OMS functionality? Who's going to take care of that, especially when it's 2 in the morning? Who's going to do that for you? If you do not have the staff internally, you come to folks like us to take care of that for you. Next up, speed. Okay? Sometimes when you have an issue, you need it to get resolved fast, especially if it's a production down situation. So this is really all about outsourcing something, going to a vendor that perhaps has some sort of service level agreement, SLA in place, where you can rely on a certain level of speed for that service. It's very, very nice. Third, reliability. This is really all about understanding that you're working with a company that is proficient in all of the software that you work with. We all have our skill sets, and the GIS staff and IT support staffs at utilities are no different. But it's a tall order to ask 1 or 2 people to know everything and know how to fix everything quickly. When you work with a vendor like us, you get that based on the team of industry professionals here. Next up, timing. So this is something that we offer, and frankly, there's a few clients that have chosen to go this route, but we do offer 24/7 services here. So this, our typical support hours are typically 8 to 5 Mountain when our folks are in the office. And for, frankly, 90% of our support clients, that's not, that's good enough. But there are some that really do rely on this technology, even in the middle of the night, especially when it comes to outage management and other sort of time-sensitive operations of the GIS, where we're not just doing, say, capital design work or updating versions or what have you. So there are options available there that may not be available to you internally. So all 4 of these sort of reasons for being for a custom support agreement, these all kind of work under the support part of what we're doing. But if I want to talk for a minute about Enhance. Why do we hire out for enhancements? Okay, this is simply looking for a simple avenue to acquire updates to your GIS functionality. So we're looking for simple, we're looking for quick, and we're looking for reliable. All of this is essentially here to support your business users. Because let's be honest, as GIS professionals, GIS management, a utility, or telecommunications company, we're all supporting these folks. This is what it's all about. So we're here to help you do that. Enhancements can do that for you. All right, so next up, we're going to switch it up with the colors here a little bit, keep you on your toes. How is this offered? So SSP is actually, we're really proud to say that we're very flexible with our offerings here. We've got 2 basic systems from which you can choose. The first is flat rate. Some other companies call this extended support and maintenance, or an annual support term contract. All these things basically apply to where you have a predetermined term, usually 6 months or a year. A year is most common, and you have a flat rate that you pay for that time. Sometimes you get billed; it'll be split out by month or what have you. But within that, there's a very specific service level agreements that say these are the number of hours of labor that you will receive, or up to them that you will receive for support in a given time period, whether that's within a week or a month or what have you. The pros to this is that it's really more predictable cost. That's the reason you do this. You know exactly what you're going to pay every month or every year, and particularly within the context of a utility, that can be very helpful given the budget situation in utilities. So downsides are it's typically a higher cost and you have less flexibility. There's typically very strict terms around what we will do for you, when we will do it, how quickly we can respond to you, and the number of hours under which we can do work for you on any specific period. So that's really the flat rate offering. And the other, and frankly far more popular option, is T&M. For those that are uninitiated, what does that stand for? Time and materials. What this really means is you have a lot of flexibility with this contract. You can set the not to exceed number, so it's really up to you exactly how much is the maximum on the contract amount. You set the term, so you can do 3 months, 6 months, a year, 3 years if you want to lock in a rate for that long with us. But ultimately, the crux of this option is that you get or you pay for only what you ask for. So we will work on an as-needed basis, and you will pay on a monthly basis only for those hours that we worked, and we do bill down to the quarter-hour level, so you're not going to pay for an entire hour of services if we answered a question and spent 3 minutes doing it for you. There's a lot of flexibility here, particularly with the T&M option, where we can talk about 24/7 services within that. We can talk about SLAs within that, which is really all about for certain priority listings on each issue that you submit. Those will carry different levels of response times from us. So for instance, if you have something that's labeled sort of a priority 3, not a particularly big rush for the answer or the fix on this, that'll cost you one rate per hour, and we will respond within, say, a day or two. This will all be written out in a contract, of course. But then you've got a bug or an issue that is critical, labeled critical, that's essentially a production down issue where your users are not able to do their jobs with the GIS tools. That will carry a different rate and will carry a much faster response time, typically within 1 hour. So those guarantees can be built into the contract on a very flexible basis. And of course, you know exactly what your maximum cost is. You're not paying for services you're not getting, and you get to determine the term. If we happen to get to the end of the term and you have money left over, it's yours. You save it. Use it on another initiative. If we happen to run out of money, run out of budget, hit the not to exceed before the term's over, in that situation, you certainly can re-up if there is funds available internally, or you can simply end the contract and take the rest of your support engagement on yourselves. So very, very flexible. This is really aimed at trying to empower our clients to do what they're most comfortable with, and frankly, what the folks that sign the checks for your utility or telco are most comfortable with. The last piece, just to that T&M part of it, is that it's a little bit less predictable on the costs in terms of what the bill's going to look like each month, right? If you happen to have a bunch of issues in one month, or say even one issue that's particularly difficult to get through, that you may see a pretty big bill for that, because we're spending a lot of hours on that. But of course, it's all going to come out one way or another. With the flat rate option, you know what you're going to get billed, but you're going to have a limited amount of hours with which we can help you. So anyway, two good options there, lots of flexibility for you to think about. Final thing I want to say to you is about who's doing this. And really just a plea to say, why hire SSP over somebody else? Really the only point I want to make here is all about expertise. There's a lot of folks that can offer you some custom support. SSP does this for a variety of clients, dozens of clients across the country, whether they be utilities, telcos, or even pipeline GIS providers. SSP's difference is that this is really our bread and butter. This is what we do every day. We are not a product company. We are not a company that focuses on a platform other than Esri. We are a services company, and those services, for the most part, tend to be customization and integration. So if you're looking to have a qualified vendor support your customization and integration, make sure that those issues get fixed quickly, make sure that the troubleshooting goes well, efficiently. You're not sitting around waiting for someone uneducated on the technology to figure it all out. You want to go with someone who builds those things every day. This is what we do. So with that, if you're having these pain points that I've talked about today, I'd urge you to give us a call. Let us help you manage these things and ultimately make your business users much happier, and they're going to like you a lot more too. Thanks, we'll talk to you next time. Okay, well, I've only planned out the first 4 sentences of this, but okay, we ready?
Yeah, totally.
All right. Okay. Wouldn't be good if I practiced this. Well, why are you standing there? All right. So that's pretty critical. Well, actually, I need to redo some of that because that's my entire point. I don't have anything else. I've got nothing else.